Hey everybody, Tony Mejia here. Welcome into WagerTalk TV, and you are watching my NBA Finals preview as we are going to crown a new champion. Boston looking for championship number 18 and its first title since 2008, and the Dallas Mavericks looking for their second title ever as they won in 2011, upsetting LeBron James down in his first season in Miami. And are back in the mix thanks to Luka Doncic. They are looking for, as I said, title number 2. Game 1 Thursday night at TD Garden. Celtics a 6.5-point favorite over the Mavericks, with your total for game 1 in the 214 to 214.5 range. Boston is a minus 220 series favorite. After being an underdog in the last 4 NBA Finals, they're favored for the first time since 1986. Not to date myself, but that was my first NBA Finals. They beat the Houston Rockets that year. And now the Boston Celtics, with a new look, will try to hang another one. The Mavericks are plus 184 underdogs, close to 2-1 at FanDuel, plus 180 at Caesars. They're in that neighborhood here. I think they're live dogs in this series, so certainly I would recommend a Dallas series play over Boston and eating all that juice in game 1. I think there's going to be a point in this series where it's probably going to be more advantageous to bet the Celtics if that's where you want to go. Boston swept the regular season series between these teams. There was one game before the Mavericks added Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington, and one game afterwards. And we're going to talk about both of those contests. The first one, but first of all, the Celtics have won 6 of 8 quarters this season against Dallas, and both of the Mavericks' quarter wins were by a bucket apiece. So Boston certainly has gotten the better of the Mavs in these 2 games. The first one, we'll briefly gloss over it. Boston was a 2.5-point road favorite on January the 22nd. They won that game 119 to 110. The total was actually 240.5 for that game. And post All-Star break and pre-All-Star break, you know that the totals were astronomical, and there was really a lack of defense in the NBA that has really been adjusted to. So to see this total at 214.5, not entirely surprising, although it is interesting that this 214.5 total would have been the lowest in a game involving the Boston Celtics for the entire NBA regular season. And both Lively and Gafford will be tasked with defending the paint, manning up with Kristaps Porzingis, and figuring out a way to keep Boston from really controlling the boards at any point in this series, and hopefully forcing them into being a perimeter squad and living and dying by the 3, which I think is the key to beating the Celtics. So that's going to be the Mavs recipe here. Boston 6-2 at home in this postseason, but just 4-4 against the spread. The over is 6-2 in Boston Celtics games, and was on a 5-0 run before Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Dallas is 7-2 against the spread in straight up and against the spread in this postseason on the road. So they've really been road warriors. They lost 2 of their 3 road game 1s. One last series in the Western Conference Finals at Minnesota, and the over has gone 5-4 in their road games. Currently, Jason Tatum is your Finals MVP favorite at plus 115. Luka Doncic is at plus 195. So if you like the Mavericks to win the series, certainly I think you should put in a bet on Doncic as well. Try to double your money there. It's a little more than twice your investment if you're correct about the Mavericks pulling off this upset, and just about 2-1 on Luka being the MVP and leading them there. Doncic's points, rebounds, and assists number for game 1 is 49.5, a little too high. We're going to have to see how this game 1 begins in terms of pace and how ball dominant Doncic is, because ideally you want your guys to get their feet wet in the finals. Maybe he'll get Kyrie Irving a nod. Irving has been a distributor first and foremost until he feels the need to really assert himself in the fourth quarter. We'll see if that strategy changes. Kristaps Porzingis being back in the fold after missing over a month of action is a big deal as well, because presumably he'll start ahead of Al Horford, and there'll be an adjustment period there. From that standpoint, I think in game one, a pretty solid bet would be backing the Mavericks to be the first to 20 points in game one, and that pays out at plus 130. That's one of the bets that I'd recommend for this series opener. I also like Jason Tatum over 42.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I just don't see a matchup on the Mavericks side that favors them in terms of slowing Tatum down. And I think Tatum will be the aggressor. He can get to the line better than any other Boston Celtic as well. So that certainly will aid the cause. He's been a willing passer throughout the postseason. So I think the assists and rebounds will be there. So those are our two plays for game one, with a lean towards Dallas as a series winner, Luka Doncic as the finals MVP, just for the value of it, and Jason Tatum to top 42.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and the Dallas Mavericks to beat the Boston Celtics to 20 points in that first quarter, which pays out plus 130. We have a tremendous deal going on at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo, where you can get the rest of June for $177, a deal that's normally $249. NBA action, the Stanley Cup, the MLB throughout June, UFC, the WNBA, soccer. We've got multiple tournaments going on, golf for cappers that do that and specialize in that, and we have a bunch of good ones. So any of the niche sports that we also offer, if your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo handicapper offers it up, it's yours via an all-access special at $177. That's less than $6 a day going forward. So take advantage of that. You can also get a $20 off a 3-day pass from me by using coupon code TM3DAY. That's TM3DAY. Hope these NBA finals live up to billing, because I really do think they'll be exciting. And I welcome you to follow along at WagerTalk TV to get information from all of our handicappers as we break down the best in basketball with a new champion set to be crowned. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Tony Mejia.